hopefully you finished what kind of shoes does a frog wear, because that's going to be the very basics of elimination. Your second piece of your homework is page 224 in your workbook. I am going to help you with number 11. So elimination is always just eliminating one of the variables. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not quite as pretty, so you have to make sure that you have opposites of coefficients for one of your variables. The worksheet you just did is pretty easy in terms of figuring out the opposites. Sometimes it can be a little bit trickier. So the directions here does say to use elimination. Another option you would have had would have been to solve for x and do it with substitution, which I'm actually going to show you in a minute, but we're going to do it their way first. This is where you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to rewrite things, because if you're messy about this, it's going to be nearly impossible to keep up with the math and all the little different changes. You can eliminate either variable. In the last worksheet and the examples I showed you, we eliminated the y in most cases. I see 2x, and I know if I could get a negative 2x, then I'd be able to eliminate my x variable. So I'm actually going to multiply this entire second row by negative 2. And I'm doing that so that I have 2x here, and now I'm going to have negative 2x. You need to rewrite both of them. Trying to skip lines is not going to do you any favors. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to write x, which is 1x, times negative 2 is negative 2x, plus 2 times negative 2 is negative 4y, equals 8.5 times negative 2 is negative 17. I'm not overly concerned about the usage of a calculator, but I would be prepared to do this without one, especially these numbers. Alright, so now I have my opposites, 2 and negative 2. If I add opposites, I get 0, so I'm going to add these numbers together. 2 plus negative 2 is 0x's, so those go away. 0.5y plus negative 4 is negative 3.5y, and that equals 3 plus negative 17, which is negative 14. Divide by negative 3.5, divide by negative 3.5. Again, use some logic whenever you're trying to figure out the solution. What if it was 14 divided by 7? Our solution, our quotient, is 2. Well, 3.5 goes into 7 twice, so that means that 3.5 is going to go into 14 4 times. Negative divided by negative is a positive. So when I come back up, my solution so far, I know my y is 4. And then from there, you can plug it into either one that you want. I don't know that really either one is that much easier than the other. So I'll just do the second one. I'm not going to use it where I've multiplied by negative 2. I'm going to say x plus 2 times 4 equals 8.5. And then that's 8. So then x must equal 0.5 or 0.5, 1/2. So that would be your solution. You do not have to redo it again, but I'm going to show you how you could have solved this using substitution, which is what we've been doing. X plus 2y equals 8.5. I'm going to rewrite this equation in terms, or solving for x in terms of y. So I'm going to minus 2y from both sides. So negative 2y plus 8.5. These two things are equivalent. I'm then going to take this and plug it into there. So I have 2 times negative 2y plus 8.5 plus 0.5y equals 3. Negative 4y plus 17 plus 0.5y equals 3. Keep going with solving. I'm going to combine like terms. I'm minusing 17, and then there's where my 4 comes out again. From there, you go back, just like we did before, plug it in, and you're still going to get your 0.5, x is your x, and then 4 is your y. So there is no necessarily a magic. You have to pick one or the other, even when the directions tell you one or the other. Sometimes there is a more efficient way, and sometimes you're going to become more comfortable with one or the other. I do want you to practice using elimination on page 224. I want you to do for numbers 9, 10, 11, and 12. Actually, we just did 11. So at least do elimination on those just to give yourself some good practice.